My view remains that sanctions after the incursion are less effective than sanctions before. And I hope the administration will bear that in mind as they move forward. They have a lot of latitude on their own, but there are plenty of discussions, as you know, about a bipartisan approach here in the Senate.
Are you about the former president offering pardons to people who...
The uber sanctions, the ones that really could bring the Russians to their knees, are related to the banking system. And I know the president, according to what he has said publicly, has been discussing the possibility of that happening with Putin. But to go back to my initial statement, I think what we ought to be doing right now, before the invasion occurs, send the Ukrainians weapons they can fight with, anti-tank weaponry, ground-to-air missiles. Give them a chance to inflict some real damage on the Russians if they, in fact, come in. It's also important, I think, to beef up NATO presence in countries like Poland and the Baltics. And those NATO troops ought to include some American troops as further evidence to our eastern NATO members and allies that we're going to have their back if the Russians decide to try to take a NATO country.
Attacked the Capitol on January 6th, and because of his comments, does he have the...
We are awaiting, of course, as all of you are, a Supreme Court nominee, and it's pretty hard to comment on the nominee until you get one, but obviously this is a very significant position, and I think you can anticipate the Senate Republican minority treating the nominee with respect and going through the process in a serious, thoughtful way. Well, we're worried about how the Chinese read our reaction to the Russian potential incursion into Ukraine as it relates to Taiwan. There's no question about it. I think our big power adversaries, the Russians and the Chinese, watch what happened in Afghanistan, have serious doubts about whether America will stand with its allies. So I think how we handle the Ukrainian situation does have implications in the Pacific as well.